What comes to mind when you think of North Korea? Probably not much, which is understandable. North Korea is one of the world's most secluded nations, maintaining a socialist regime since its establishment but also a state of high military readiness. Led by the Kim dynasty, the Korean People's Army boasts 1.3 million active soldiers, 5.8 million paramilitary personnel, and 200,000 reservists, making it the largest military organization in the world. However, the reality of these soldiers' conditions and treatment is far from commendable. Today, we delve into the harrowing secrets behind the North Korean military forces. Number 1. Living conditions. Given North Korea's limited land area, after allocating the necessary land for industries and basic living for residents, there's scarcely any left. Providing comfortable housing for over 1 million active servicemen is thus a significant challenge. However, this doesn't mean North Korean soldiers should live in squalor. It's reported that soldiers are mainly stationed in small concrete barracks across the country, with more than 20 individuals crammed into each room. Each soldier is allotted only a tiny drawer for their uniform and personal belongings. Besides the cramped space, the overall living and dining conditions are poor, with ventilation being a particular concern. After daily training, the smell in the barracks lingers, creating not only an unpleasant environment but also a breeding ground for bacteria and viruses. In such conditions, the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020 dealt a severe blow to the North Korean military, causing many innocent soldiers to perish in these poorly ventilated barracks without ever facing war. Number 2. The soybean regulation. Indeed, you read that correctly. North Korean soldiers have long suffered from a lack of soybeans, missing out on the essential nutritional components of legumes. Soybeans are highly nutritious, containing twice the protein content of pork and 2.5 times that of eggs. The protein in soybeans is not only abundant but also of high quality, making it easily digestible due to its amino acid profile closely matching human nutritional needs. In May 2021, a report highlighting the extreme nutritional deficiencies among soldiers reached Kim Jong-un's desk. His response was straightforward: every military unit must ensure that soldiers have at least one soy-based meal a day, such as soybeans or tofu. However, this directive did little to change the existing food scarcity, effectively passing the buck to military officers. To avoid punishment, officers resorted to various measures, including sending soldiers home on leave with instructions to return with enough legumes and other foodstuffs. For the majority of soldiers, whose families already face tight food supplies, fulfilling this requirement meant depleting their own reserves, forcing them to choose between punishment and their family's hunger. Number 3. Ideological indoctrination. If you were born in North Korea, chances are you'd spend your life subjected to a singular narrative, a reality far from exaggeration. From the moment children begin to speak and engage with new concepts, the ruling Workers' Party's militaristic ideology permeates every aspect of life and thought. For example, kindergartens are decorated with cartoons of soldiers, propaganda comics depicting armed combat against enemies, and children wear military uniforms from a young age. Songs widely sung include lyrics such as, 3 million young soldiers will become guns and bombs, we will become the weapons and bombs of our generals, sacrificing ourselves for our great leader and country. Does this not instill fear? Number 4. Life choices. If ordinary North Korean citizens have some degree of freedom until the age of 17, everything changes past this age. By law, all citizens must serve in the military, with no exceptions or alternatives, meaning individuals have no control over their life direction or future. It's infuriating and unjust that many children of the elite and party members are exempt, including the supreme leader Kim Jong-un himself. Despite commanding the entire military, he has never served in any capacity. Additionally, due to economic decline, requirements for service duration and physical standards have lowered, necessitating earlier enlistment. Number 5. Specialized training. Besides enduring the harsh living conditions mentioned, North Korean soldiers undergo valueless, repetitive training daily. The high costs of vehicles, fuel, and ammunition prevent the military from affording comprehensive training, leading to a focus on theoretical knowledge and memorization. Beyond exhaustive daytime drills, soldiers also engage in night training. Moreover, they are tasked with agriculture and livestock breeding, serving dual purposes of generating revenue for the military and supplementing their meager rations. Another bizarre and cruel training involves performances under camera surveillance, showcasing their bravery and loyalty through acts like breaking bricks with bare hands, explosive demolitions, and shooting at American enemies, reminiscent of circus school antics. Number 6. Militarized labor. You might think enduring a few years of military service would be the end of it, but that's far from the case. Even after completing their service, individuals are assigned various jobs, such as assisting farmers, cultivating crops, or constructing hydraulic projects. For instance, the construction of the Taesun large-scale hydroelectric station and the Sibotai terrain project heavily relied on soldiers from across the country, a process far from straightforward. During this period, men and women worked side by side, with men primarily responsible for mining and land development and women tasked with cooking and cleaning, all unpaid. While participants might receive verbal commendations, such recognition does little to improve their living conditions. Number 7. Forced crying. It's unimaginable that in some parts of the world, failing to cry is considered a criminal act. In North Korea, this is just the reality. Legal mandates require soldiers to applaud and cry passionately upon seeing their leader during military inspections, as a show of respect and adoration. Far from jest, the fervent reactions of soldiers during the funeral of Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un's father, epitomize this fanatic behavior. Soldiers must cry genuinely and emotively, otherwise, they face the same punishments as those who don't cry, including harsh labor tasks and unbearable torture for more severe infractions, such as perceived disrespect towards the leader, which can lead to execution. Number 8. Freedom of movement. After learning about these 7 regulations, you might yearn to flee the country, thinking freedom lies beyond its borders. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Ordinary citizens and soldiers are strictly prohibited from leaving North Korea. Soldiers have limited leave, typically only 10 days a year, requiring leader approval, making international travel for leisure impossible. Only those assigned special tasks in relatively friendly countries like China are allowed to leave. Such oppressive policies are intolerable for many, leading to defections, usually to South Korea, where defectors are granted amnesty. However, the consequences of being caught during escape are dire. Rumors once circulated about a high-ranking officer's son who was shot over 40 times while defecting, miraculously surviving with his body riddled with parasites upon reaching South Korea. Number 9. Healthcare. The story of the officer's son laden with parasites raises questions about the state of healthcare in the North Korean military. Despite the public health law promising comprehensive medical services free of charge, without insurance or bills, defectors reveal a stark contrast between propaganda and reality. North Koreans recall hospitals lacking genuine medication, with any available treatments being unaffordable for the average person. Iodine, a cheap disinfectant, is commonly used to treat the numerous daily injuries, offering minimal relief. As a result, soldiers often resort to herbal remedies for self-treatment. Number 10. Punishment of female soldiers. The harsh living conditions and rigorous training tasks mentioned are unbearable for any soldier, including the women among their ranks. Naturally, men and women differ physiologically, with women requiring special care during menstruation. However, female North Korean soldiers receive little more than bandages, lacking essential sanitary products and any additional leave. If a female soldier cannot fulfill her duties due to physiological issues, she faces criticism and punishment from officers. Although North Korean law provides soldiers a right to appeal, officers often use their authority to suppress any dissent, leaving persecuted female soldiers to suffer in silence. This concludes our discussion on the 10 most terrifying regulations in North Korea. Which of these regulations left the deepest impression on you? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, or share it with friends. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.